James Knibb-Lamouche My name is James Knibb-Lamouche, and I work with the Indigenous Knowledge and Wisdom Center. The engagement of elders and knowledge keepers requires the utilization of traditional protocols. These protocols can vary depending on the nation or cultural background of the individual being approached, and the reason or intent of the person seeking their knowledge, teachings, or ceremonial leadership. For example, while tobacco is an important ceremonial and medicinal gift of the Creator for many nations, the specific protocols around its use and purpose varies from nation to nation. It is also important to note that it is not universally utilized by all Indigenous peoples. The intent of these protocols are to recognize, foster, and support relationships. These include the relationship between the person making the request and the knowledge keeper, the relationship of each of them to the ancestors and past teachers, the relationship to lands and territories, the relationship to family, community, and nation, and most importantly, the relationship to the Creator and universe. There are many specific components and adjustments that are made depending on the nature of the request being made. Is the request for specific information or teachings? Is it for guidance or counsel? Is it a specific ceremonial request? Some general or common components of these protocols include, with examples from Nihio or Cree traditions and Nihio-Wewin Cree language terminology, tobacco or chistamau is offered to the knowledge keeper to hold and utilize on behalf of the Creator and represents, among many other things, everyone's connection, responsibility, and gratitude to the universe. Offerings, wapanaswak, are an offering to the spirits, ancestors, and Creator, and represent the person's intent for the request or ceremony being translated to that realm. Traditionally, these would be flags that were made from peeled willow sticks that were decorated, dyed, and woven together, or pieces of hide that were decorated in a similar manner. In a modern context, these are represented by bolts of print or fabric of various colors. The colors and number necessary vary based on the nature of the request and from nation to nation. Gifts, or megwanuk, were traditionally physical goods, foods, tools, hides, blankets, horses, etc., provided to the ceremonial holder or knowledge keeper and represent the relationship between the requester and host, among many other relationships. It also reflects the weight or significance of the request. An important milestone or significantly involved ceremony would require a larger gift. It is not payment for the ceremony or knowledge being sought. It is recognizing and recouping the opportunity cost of hosting or conducting a ceremony or providing teachings. Time spent harvesting wood, collecting stones, hauling water for a ceremony is time not spent hunting, fishing, gathering medicines, or making tools. And in a modern context, this is often reflected in currency. No one is paid for knowledge or ceremony. The requester is supporting the knowledge keeper to not go hunting, fishing, sewing, working, for both the time that they are spending with them, as well as in preparation. It is important to note that while it is often used interchangeably with gift, the concept of honorarium utilized by institutions, businesses, and governments does not adequately represent the same idea or intent. Some examples of these are a usually small amount of money paid to someone for a service for which no official charge is made, or a payment in recognition of acts or professional services for which custom and propriety forbids a price to be set. And finally, a fee for services rendered by a professional person. None of these adequately represent what the spirit and intent of traditional protocols are. No payment is being rendered and no service is being bought. And these are inadequate for the purposes of dealing with traditional protocols.